EVs are quiet, so it sort of feels like magic when you're going. We know how it works. We're engineers. We understand the physics, but still, it still feels like magic when it's really quiet. Of course, we all know John Wayland, who's a local well-known drag racer, but most people don't know that he's also on the cover of audio magazines because the perfect quietness of an EV makes your sound system so much nicer to listen to. Another reason for EVs is that they're powerful. So we all like to embarrass gas cars down at PIR, and I guess they'll be doing that in about 2 weeks from now. So you might think of an EV as being the strong, silent type of car. Okay, and then there's economic reasons. So in the 70s, some of us still remember standing in line for 4 hours to get 10 gallons of gas on an odd or an even day. And at that time, I looked at EVs, and the only thing available was a city car, which is a neighborhood electric vehicle that'll only go 35 miles per hour. The other one costs more than my house. So things have changed a lot since the 70s. So today my EV costs less than 2 cents a mile for the fuel to drive. After 10 years, my car, my 2000 Insight, I took it in to have the brakes checked. So in 10 years I've spent $240 on the maintenance for the car. So that's no oil changes, no filters. The tires and wiper blades are the same. So today's electric vehicles have a lower total cost of ownership than a gas car. They cost a little more at the beginning, but it pays back in operational costs. Another reason is national security. I grew up in D.C. inside the Beltway, and we spend every year about $600 billion for oil, and 60% of that goes out of our economy. But in 1970, as a wee lad of 21, I wrote a program to track compliance with Nixon's wage price freeze and I didn't really know until recently that U.S. oil production peaked in 1970. They didn't know it either, but oil went from $2 a barrel to $20 a barrel, and the Texans couldn't increase production, and we lost control of the price of oil. A third reason for driving EVs is that they're clean. So hopefully a lot of you have seen Lance Armstrong's commercial where he goes behind a leaf. And I used to bike in LA too, and so as a biker I used to drive bikes 7,000 miles a year, and bikes in fact I'd rather bike than drive EVs, frankly. Don't tell everybody, but you know, we have to breathe the exhaust. So even with the dirtiest coal plant in the United States, electric cars are still better than a normal gas car in terms of greenhouse emissions and other pollutants. And the Northwest grid in particular is one of the cleanest grids in the country. And guess what? A normal car gets dirtier as it gets older because the pollution control filters and such don't work. The engine starts emitting more. But an EV cleans up over its lifetime as the grid cleans up. And secondly, if that's not good enough for you, I buy PGE wind power. So wind power supports our rural economies by tapping into this renewable resource. And if that's not good enough, you can just put solar panels on the garage roof. So my garage roof with 3 kilowatts is good for 72 miles of driving every day. I know Patrick here has got the same deal at his house. And so finally, EVs are a sustainable way of doing transportation. So a manager once asked me after Katrina, "Boy, I'll bet you're happy that you're driving an electric car." And I said, "Well, yes, but the trouble is I'm not a hermit. I'm a social person. I live in civilization. If the people around me are not doing well, I'm not doing well either." So I'm very happy to live in Oregon, an area that's starting to deploy electric vehicles, because we'll be a happy, sustainable place to live instead of a diminishing one.